Hello, this is Danielle Yawowiecka with the BBC News. The White House says President Biden has tested positive for COVID-19 for a second time. Doctors said the 79-year-old returned the test on Saturday morning after 4 consecutive days of negative results. Strict isolation procedures being reinstated. Speaking on social media, Mr. Biden, pictured with his dog, said he's doing fine.
Hey folks, Joe Biden here. Tested positive this morning. Going to be working from home for the next couple of days. And I'm feeling fine. Everything's good. But Commander and I got a lot of work to do.
Mr. Biden first tested positive for the virus 9 days ago and was treated with the antiviral medicine Paxlovid. Doctors believe he's suffering a rare case of rebound positivity experienced by some COVID patients. They say the president continues to feel well. Iraq's caretaker Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi has called for calm after supporters of the powerful cleric Muqtada as-Sadr stormed Parliament. They'd staged a sit-in at the building in Baghdad. Mike Thompson has this report.
In a televised address, Mr al-Kadhimi called for all sides in the political row to cooperate and avoid sliding into confrontation. He was speaking while Muqtada al-Sadr supporters continued their sit-in of the Parliament in Baghdad. Earlier, thousands of them protested on the streets before putting down concrete walls surrounding the city's fortified green zone. Mr Sadr's bloc, which quit Parliament in June after months of political deadlock, is determined to stop the Iran-aligned opposition bloc voting in its nominee for Prime Minister.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on residents of the eastern region of Donetsk to evacuate as soon as possible. The region has seen an escalation of fighting in recent weeks between Ukrainian forces and the Russian military. In his daily address, President Zelensky reminded Ukrainians of an existing government order for obligatory evacuation.
It is important to hear exactly the same motivation now for all our people who still remain in Donbass, in the areas of the fierce fighting. There are hundreds and thousands of people, tens of thousands of children. Many refuse to leave, but it really needs to be done. This decision will have to be taken regardless, believe me. And the sooner it is made, the more people leave Donetsk region now, the fewer people the Russian army will have time to kill.
He said support operations were being handled by the authorities. Ukraine has condemned the Russian embassy in London for saying some Ukrainian soldiers should be hanged. The embassy sent a tweet which said members of the Azov battalion deserved a humiliating death. The comments were a quote from a video purportedly showing local residents criticising the Ukrainian fighters who were captured after defending the city of Mariupol. World news from the BBC. An Italian man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and robbery after a Nigerian street seller was assaulted in broad daylight in central Italy, sparking outrage. Paddy Maguire reports.
The attack on Friday on a busy street in the town of Civitanova Marche was recorded by onlookers who reportedly made no attempt to intervene. Video shows the victim, Alika Ogochukwu, struggling with a white man who is holding him to the ground. The lack of intervention has shocked the community, and politicians have condemned the indifference of onlookers. According to local media reports, the victim had asked the attacker's girlfriend for some money. Police say the man is alleged to have taken a crutch the vendor used to walk and struck him down with it.
Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe has said an agreement with the International Monetary Fund has been delayed due to the recent unrest there. In his first speech since being elected earlier this month, he said a possible deal had been pushed back to September. The bailout talks with the IMF had begun in April under the ousted President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Sri Lanka has an overseas debt of $12 billion. Iran says it has detained a Swedish national on espionage charges. The intelligence ministry in Tehran said the arrest had been made after it had monitored the Swedish man's movements inside the country for some time. There's been tension between Tehran and Stockholm since a Swedish court sentenced a former Iranian prison official to life for war crimes over the killing of prisoners in 1988. Iran has dismissed the verdict as political and called for his release. In football, Liverpool have beaten Manchester City in the Community Shield, the traditional curtain raiser to the English Premier League season. It's the 16th time Liverpool have won the trophy. Only Manchester United have won it more. The Reds defeated last year's Premier League winners City 3-1. That's the latest BBC World News.